If you're looking for a European city that feels straight out of a fairy tale, but without Paris prices or Rome-level crowds, Prague might be the smartest trip you can plan this year. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why Prague is exploding in popularity among US travelers, how much it really costs in US dollars, what most tourists get wrong, and how to experience the city the smart way without wasting time or money. And stay until the end, because I'll share the biggest mistake Americans make when visiting Prague, and it can ruin the trip if you're not careful. Before we dive in, if you want more smart travel guides like this one, subscribe to the channel. Every week we break down destinations with real costs, real tips, and no fluff. Prague is the capital of the Czech Republic, right in the heart of Central Europe. It's known for medieval architecture, cheap beer, rich history, and incredible value compared to Western Europe. But Prague is more than just pretty buildings. It's walkable, safe, affordable, and packed with experiences that feel premium without premium prices. Let's start with the basics you need to know before booking. Prague uses the Czech koruna, not the euro. That alone already makes it cheaper than many nearby cities. As a US traveler, you'll usually get excellent exchange rates, and credit cards are widely accepted, especially Visa and MasterCard. Still, carrying some cash is useful for small cafes, public restrooms, and local markets. Flights from the US to Prague usually connect through major European hubs like Frankfurt, Paris, or Amsterdam. From the East Coast, round-trip flights often range between $600 and $900 if booked in advance. From the Midwest or West Coast, expect closer to $800 to $1,200 depending on season. Money-saving tip number 1. Prague flights are cheapest from late January through March and again in November, excluding holidays. Once you land at Václav Havel Airport, getting into the city is simple and cheap. Public transport costs about $1.50 to $2 using a combination of bus and metro, and it's reliable and safe. Uber and Bolt are widely used and much cheaper than US ride prices. A ride from the airport to Old Town usually costs between $20 and $30. Now let's talk about where to stay, because this is where Prague really shines for value. Budget travelers can find clean, modern hotels or private hostel rooms for $50 to $80 per night. Mid-range travelers should expect $90 to $150 for well-located hotels near Old Town or Lesser Town. Luxury hotels, including historic 5-star properties, often range from $200 to $350 per night, which is a fraction of what you'd pay in Paris or London. Money-saving tip number 2. Staying just outside Old Town in neighborhoods like Vinohrady or Smíchov can cut hotel costs by 20 to 30%, and you'll still be 10 minutes away by metro. Now, let's get into what you actually do in Prague. The historic heart of the city is Old Town Square. This is where you'll see the astronomical clock, colorful Gothic buildings, and street performers. Most tourists stop here, take photos, and move on. But the real experience is coming early in the morning or later at night when the crowds disappear. If you visit before 8 a.m., the square feels almost magical. From Old Town, walk across Charles Bridge. This is one of the most famous bridges in Europe, lined with statues and overlooking the Vltava River. Midday is packed. Sunrise or after sunset is when it's worth it. In a minute, I'll tell you where to stand on the bridge for the best photos without crowds. On the hill above the city sits Prague Castle, the largest ancient castle complex in the world. This isn't a single building. It's a massive area with cathedrals, palaces, courtyards, and incredible city views. Entrance tickets range from $14 to $25 depending on which areas you visit. Plan at least half a day here. Wear comfortable shoes. The cobblestones are no joke. Inside the castle complex is St. Vitus Cathedral, one of the most impressive Gothic cathedrals in Europe. Even if you're not into churches, this one is worth it. The stained glass and scale are unforgettable. Now let's talk food, because Prague surprises a lot of Americans. Traditional Czech food is hearty. Think roasted meats, dumplings, sauces, and soups. A sit-down meal at a local restaurant usually costs between $10 and $15. Beer is famously cheap. A half-liter often costs $2 to $3, sometimes less than water. Don't miss dishes like svichkova, a creamy beef dish with dumplings, or goulash. For street food, try trdelník, but here's a tip most tourists don't know. It's more of a tourist dessert than a traditional Czech food. It's fine to try once, but don't base your food experience on it. Money-saving tip number 3, lunch menus. Many restaurants offer weekday lunch specials for $6 to $8, including soup and a main dish. Now let's talk about neighborhoods you shouldn't skip. Lesser Town, also known as Malastrana, sits below the castle and feels quieter and more local than Old Town. It's full of small streets, hidden gardens, and cafes. This is where you slow down. Vinohrady is a residential area popular with expats and locals. Fewer tourists, great cafes, and lower prices. If you want to experience daily life in Prague, spend an afternoon here. Holešovice is Prague's creative district. Art galleries, modern cafes, and fewer crowds. This area shows you what Prague looks like beyond postcards. Now let's cover public transportation, because Prague's system is excellent. The metro, trams, and buses are clean, safe, and easy to use. A 24-hour pass costs about $5. A 72-hour pass is around $14. Always validate your ticket. Inspectors do random checks and fines are real. Money-saving tip number 4. Buy multi-day passes instead of single tickets if you plan to move around a lot. Now let's talk about safety. Prague is one of the safest cities in Europe. Violent crime is rare. The biggest risks are pickpocketing in crowded areas and tourist scams. Be cautious around Old Town Square and Charles Bridge. Never exchange money on the street. Always use ATMs inside banks. Here's a big mistake Americans make: assuming everyone uses euros. Some tourist spots accept euros at terrible exchange rates. Always pay in Czech koruna when given the option. Now let's talk about day trips. One of the best day trips from Prague is Kutná Hora, home to the famous Bone Church. Trains cost around $5 to $7 each way. Another option is Český Krumlov, a storybook town about 2.5 hours away. Expect a full day, but it's worth it. Money-saving tip number 5. Book train tickets directly through Czech railways instead of third-party sites. Now let's talk nightlife. Prague has a legendary nightlife scene. From beer halls to jazz clubs to rooftop bars, there's something for every style. Entry to clubs usually ranges from free to $10. Drinks are affordable compared to US cities. If nightlife isn't your thing, evening river cruises are another option. Prices range from $20 to $40 depending on duration and food options. Now let's talk about the best time to visit. Late April to early June and September to early October are ideal. Weather is pleasant, crowds are manageable, and prices are reasonable. July and August are the busiest months. Winter is cold, but Christmas markets in December are beautiful and festive. If you want the best balance of cost and experience, late September is hard to beat. Now let's break down daily costs. Budget travelers can comfortably spend $70 to $90 per day excluding flights. Mid-range travelers should expect around $120 to $160 per day. Luxury travelers can enjoy Prague for $250 to $350 per day and feel like they're getting a deal compared to other European capitals. Before we wrap up, here are a few final tips. Wear comfortable shoes. Cobblestones will destroy weak footwear. Learn a few basic Czech words. Even simple greetings go a long way. Don't rush Prague. This city rewards slow exploration. Prague is one of the best value cities in Europe for US travelers right now. It's beautiful, affordable, safe, and packed with history and culture. If Europe feels intimidating or expensive, Prague is the perfect entry point. If this guide helped you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below where you want to travel next. And if Prague is on your list, start planning now. Prices won't stay this low forever.